Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Geek-A-Rican podcast, episode number 7. First off, I gotta apologize. It's been forever since I did one of these bad boys. Ali Oxnfree up in here today.
Hey. What up, bro?
What up? I'm very grateful to have you here today with me, my guy.
Thank you.
So much has happened. I don't even remember the last time we did an episode. It has to be back in April, maybe May even. We're already in July, middle of July already.
Yeah.
July 14th is the date. It's Wednesday, July 14th. So much stuff has been going on. So much stuff has happened. So much stuff has been released. And we have to go get right into it. We gotta shoot right into this bad boy. So, first off, how's everything with you? How's Top 5 Dead or Alive podcast? How's everything over there?
Top 5 of Dead or Alive podcast has been on a hiatus, similar to you, man, because I recently moved, so I've been like adulting, as I call it, just trying to take care of the house, buy things, you know what I mean, get my living room done and painted and this and that. So I ain't have really time much to do anything. So
that's right. My guy over here, we gotta congratulate him. Purchased his own house, man, making the dope big boy moves, man. Shout out to you.
Thank you. That's what I'm recording from right now. I'm in the backyard, swatting off fireflies and mosquitoes.
You're about to get eaten alive. So we gotta rush through this. We go. But no, congratulations. Definitely a great accomplishment. You know, it's big things. All in the future.
Thank you.
So let's go into it. So today's Wednesday. We never really did a podcast when Loki first started, so I waited till all 6 episodes dropped. Today was the last episode that came out.
Okay.
And so let's go into it. What did you think? How did you like?
Yeah. All right. Today was the last episode, right?
Episode 6, correct. Came out today.
I didn't watch today's episode. I watched last week's episode. I didn't watch today's episode.
And I
forgot today's episode. Yes.
I won the brother.
Man.
It's all right. So I'll dance around it.
Oh,
because I'm gonna do that to you. So you seen episode 5?
Yes.
So
yes.
Episode 5 leaves off at the end where they fight Elias and they control him, and you see the big house at the end of the void.
Yeah.
All right. So we could talk Loki before that. You know, we don't really talk before
because you haven't talked about it at all so far.
At all, right?
Okay, so yeah, we could talk.
We could talk about it. So I listen to a lot of podcasts. I listen to a lot of things, and so I like to hear other people's opinion, right? Because I don't like to just hear what I gotta say. Because I'm a fanboy, right? Like I like everything. You know what I'm saying? And so when Loki first popped off, I really enjoyed it. I really liked it. I thought it was really good. I thought it was different. Then I started listening to other opinions, and I think that the other people also make sense. You know what I mean? When people have different opinions and they also make sense, you know, it doesn't make one person right or wrong. It's just like, it's a different way to look at it.
Yeah.
So I looked at it in the way where it's just like, I listened to another podcast, Fat Man Beyond, with Mark Bernardin and Kevin Smith. They're really awesome. And so Mark Bernardin basically said, Marvel, when they kill somebody, you know, they don't really make it seem like it means something, right? So when Loki sacrificed himself at the end of Endgame, he sacrificed himself, right? But now they're gonna go back and make the Loki that we saw in Avengers 1 kind of like that same Loki, right? Like that Loki went on a journey and he figured himself out. Here they kind of fast forwarded him to there. You know, he got from when you see him in episode 1, so by the time episode 5, he's there. He's where Endgame Loki was at.
Yeah.
And so it basically made that Loki sacrifice not so relevant. You know what I mean? But the journey with him and Sylvie was kind of cool. And I like the fact that he basically falls for her. He's like falling for her. You could tell that he's kind of falling for her. But it's in a weird way because that's himself in the alternate universe, like as a variant.
So Sylvie is Loki, but
yes, just a variant, right? Like a variant. Yeah. So like a variant of Loki, and so they're trying to keep everybody on this path, right? They're trying to keep everybody on this linear path that these time people, I already forgot the names already. That's terrible. So that they were constructing. By the time episode 5 comes around, we realize they're not who's behind it all, right? So they're not the ones.
Yeah.
So who's behind it? The judge wants to know. Sylvie wants to know because Sylvie wants her revenge. She's like, "Who stole my life?" You know what I mean? So she has this untouched hatred in her heart. You know, and so you could tell that there's a lot of pain there. You know, she's like, "You stole my life. I was on the run my whole life, and somebody needs to pay for that." So I think the character building for Sylvie made a lot of sense, right? She's pissed. Like, who wouldn't be? You know, they got their whole life stolen from them for no reason because she doesn't understand that she was a variant. She didn't know what she did to be a variant. Little do they all know that everybody in TVA was variants, you know?
Yeah, all variants,
So it was cool. I think the story built really good. Today's episode, which I'm not going to spoil because obviously you can see it, it did something, right? It moved the story along, but it was the last episode. You know what I mean? So I was left kind of like, what next, right? What's coming up? Like, you know? So it's also been confirmed that there's a season 2. So there's going to be a season 2 of Loki, you know? And so I'm looking forward to see what comes next. I like when you watch WandaVision and Falcon Winter Soldier, they had an ending. They had a story. They stuck to the story. There was an ending. And now you could use these characters, right? Loki doesn't really leave you like that. Doesn't leave you with like a hard, this is, you know, it leaves you with like, oh shit, all right?
Okay.
So it's very cool. The story to today's episode was very cool, it made sense and where it needed to go. But I think the character, like the Loki's characters, had the meeting other variants of Loki, the President Loki being a traitor, and he realizing how they all betrayed each other and they all look stupid to him. He's like, damn, do I really look like this? Do I really look like the rest of these idiots? And it was funny. I found it funny. And the alligator Loki and I like that you saw the Thanos copter in the background from like the old school comic books, and you see the little frog Thor, which is you know, the little version of frog Thor. I thought it was hysterical. A lot of fan service. So I liked the show overall. Honestly, I did. Did I think the ending was great? I think it was good. But the show overall, I saw somebody rated a 9. I'm fine with a 9, maybe an 8. You know what I mean? To me, I don't know if I like WandaVision the most, or but I thought WandaVision had a purpose. You know what I mean? It had a purpose.
Really? What was the purpose you feel?
It was trying to show her struggle of loss, right? When we watch WandaVision, the first 2 episodes are just to kind of give you something, right? The black and white, the cutie, you know, it builds up to something, all right? Halfway through the season, that's where you realize, all right, they're moving the plot along. You know, after like episode 4 or 5, you know, you see that they're trying to move the plot along. She meets the brother, but then it's not really her brother, and it's because she's all making this up in her head, and she went nuts. Basically, her brother died, the man she loves died. He's not even real. She had to accept that he was not, that he was really gone, and it was hard for her. She was heartbroken. By the end that we see her, you know, she's trying to find her kids, the kids that weren't real, but they were real to her, and they meant something to her. So it was building for her, you know, and I think at first I didn't appreciate it as much as like looking back on it now, that WandaVision was really just a character building of her strengths and her struggles. And I think that's what it was. That really moved WandaVision over time as to a great story. Falcon Winter Soldier, I love their story too, about being a black man and a black man in America, and being black man wearing that red, white, and blue, and be accepted, and Isaiah Bradley not, you know, feeling that a black man will never be accepted, and Sam Wilson be like, nah, you're wrong. And I like that, you know? And so I love all these stories. I love spending 6-7 episodes on these stories, you know? And it does something that a 2-hour movie doesn't, right? It leaves you learning these characters. And I wanted to know what you thought, honestly, like of Loki and the characters in Loki and how you saw the story.
That's the beauty, like you just said, being able to watch these stories play out through several episodes as opposed to a 2 hours, you know, movie. You get to see an evolution of a character, the potential of him, like, because Loki is traditionally a bad guy, but in these stories, like even with Thanos, you get to see like, yes, this is a bad guy, but it's like he has his
Hmm.
own bizarre reasoning as to why he's doing or she's doing what they're doing. You know what I mean? Their own justifications in their head to the point to where I don't think that they would see themselves as the villains. They're just, you know what I mean,
They
fulfilling their
never do.
destiny.
They
Yeah,
never
they're
do.
trying to balance something or whatever, whatever. So it's just, it's interesting to see Loki specifically kind of like evolve and kind of like see, you know, uh, his potential and the way that he's been going, kind of like change from sort of a good guy almost towards the end. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? With the that chamber, loop chamber that he was in, where the
Right,
character
the
came
prison
into
that
the
he was in. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
The
yeah.
lady. Yeah.
That was it's like how do you have such a godlike character kind of like change or whatever. So I guess you would put him in these situations where like, that torture chamber. And he was kind of like seeing, like what he did to that woman was messed up by cutting her hair and
Yeah,
thinking it
to
was
Lady
funny.
Sif, of course. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So he realized after like the 18,000th time,
Yeah,
I did it
yeah.
because I'm an asshole,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah. He was able to break down why he's doing certain things, and it's just interesting. And I think those type of stories, because when you think about it, at the end of the day, these are comic books playing out before us on the screen. So how do you translate that to the people and they don't have it so kiddie in a sense? You kind of like tell the stories of the time. So, like you said, with Sam Wilson, the black man in America, that's a huge story since for 400 years with, black
Amen.
people in America.
Amen.
And this with WandaVision, her losing her mind, she's going through, anxiety issues, loss, depression. This guy, he has Loki, he has issues of abandonment, feeling lonely, and things. And these are the reasons why they're acting out in the manner that they're acting out. It's a true testament of the writers at Marvel or whatever to be able to just
Hmm.
tell these stories, these human stories that are and essentially impossible, but these are our stories being played out, and I think that's very interesting. I think that's awesome, actually.
I couldn't agree more. Like, I
Yeah,
think that's Marvel's purpose always, right?
yeah,
Their slogan was, the world outside, right? Like these stories are just the world outside. So
mm,
uh, Captain America 80s, the 80th anniversary is coming out, and people are. If you look at Captain America 1, it goes back to the story of Adolf Hitler and World War II and him
yeah,
punching, Hitler in the face. But that was the
yeah,
story of the time.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And now we fast forward practically 80 years and look at, like you said, where
Mm,
we are,
mm,
and the story of Captain America is still of Captain America, but now
mm,
in 2020, or 2021, it's about
mm.
now a black man trying to be Captain
Yeah,
America, trying to live
yeah,
up to
yeah.
the red, white, and blue, and
Mm,
and the stories now are realer than ever. Depression, anxiety,
mm,
the
mm,
the
mm.
the fear of loss,
Yeah,
how far you would go to try to get that back.
yeah.
Loki trying to figure himself out
Mm,
as a villain who doesn't see himself as a villain, but also
mm,
sees himself as somebody who's very to me he's needy, and not in
mm.
a bad
Yeah,
way,
yeah,
not in
yeah,
a
yeah.
not in a bad way. He just needs acceptance, love,
Yeah, yeah,
attention, something,
yeah.
and that's
Mm,
something we could all deal with, or we all deal
yeah,
with as people. And I love
yeah.
the stories, and I think you're right. You know what I mean? Like
Mm,
he needs that. He feeds that, and
yeah.
he realized that when he was stuck in that loop, and he did realize when he saw his mother die in the
Mm,
video, right? Like he saw his life. He's like, this is how it
mm,
was supposed to happen, and he
yeah,
saw that he killed his mother, and
yeah,
that really messes with you because you don't even know that wasn't his birth mother. That was the lady that raised him and showed him
yeah,
magic.
yeah.
And so I think the story overall for Loki I thought was cool. I really do think like a world where like there's like a cops trying to keep everything online, but
Mm,
they would do anything to make sure it doesn't, even abduct little girls. It's
mm.
crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
So Sylvie's I guess mind is like, who is this person or who are these people in charge of this. Like, who made them the end all be all? And
yeah.
that really is true because they were all in the void, but they're not really dead. You know, when they get like vaporized, they all end up in that place, and they don't all really die. But
the pruning, as they call it.
The pruning, right? Correct. Yeah. And it's crazy. It's just crazy. So I just think that these stories, they're doing them justice. And give me more. Next is What If, the What If series, and basically little side Marvel stories and animated, but the animation visuals look amazing. The trailer dropped about 6 days ago, and basically it's like different versions of the story, right? So like the trailer that dropped has the beginning of of Iron Man. You remember in Iron Man 1 where he takes a picture of peace and then they blow up the truck and then the bomb comes next to him. Well, instead of the bomb, almost blowing up, the shrapnel hitting him in the chest, Killmonger comes out of nowhere, grabs the bomb and throws it. Wow. And so he saves Tony Stark. So now there's a what if story if Killmonger saved Tony Stark. And a what if story if instead of it being Steve Rogers, that it was Haley Atwell's character, Carter, she becomes Captain Britain, So so it's like all these little side stories, which I'm looking forward to because it's not really canon in the sense where it's going to really affect the stories, but it's like a different version of stories. And I really love that idea. I think that idea is pretty cool for next. That comes out in August. So that's something to look forward to after, Loki finished today, which you haven't seen. So I can't believe this. Yeah. Get a chance. When you get a chance, you got to check it out.
Yeah, I'm watching it tonight.
So next, we're gonna move on. Did you have anything else on Loki? Anything you want to say? Any final thoughts?
Nah, I'm really as soon as we finish this pod, I'm going inside. I'm gonna check it out. Yeah.
All right, cool. Maybe we'll revisit it next podcast.
Yeah. Okay.
So this weekend, I did something this weekend that I haven't done in about 18 months. I went to the movie theaters to go see Black Widow.
Yes, sir.
Checked it out as well, right?
Yes, sir.
Went to a movie theater with actual people. I'm fully vaccinated, which I still wear the mask, and the pandemic really took a toll on everybody. But I still wear the mask, unless I'm eating my popcorn and shit. But I went to the movies. I went to see it in IMAX. I went to see Black Widow. Of course, I could have just spend the $30 and get it off Disney Plus. But there's something about being in the movie theater, eating salty ass popcorn and drinking badass soda. Yeah. And it's just the feels of it. And tell me about your experience. How'd you like the movie? You went to the movie theater, right?
Yeah. The movie experience, I appreciate it. Because I'm a movie guy. I'd rather see, Marvel movies specifically in the movies. This movie, it was entertaining. There was a part where I missed. I must admit that but this is like towards the beginning. But my only thing, and my recollection of movies a lot of times are terrible. Even right after I see it. But one thing
I'll help you out.
One thing about the movie, I'm like, Black Widow doesn't have any powers, right?
No, never did.
But she's the baddest motherfucker on the planet. Like she can fall out of I mean, it's like the Fast and the Furious universe. Like how amazing they are with the cars and motorcycles falling off shit and walking away. Like she has to be a mutant. She has to be durable or something. And when in this movie they have her family, what's his name? Red Guardian?
Yeah, the Red Guardian, yeah.
Yeah. So father, basically her and her family were like Russian spies, right? And they went back to Russia. They had to go back, and then she got a lot of training over there. She became like the top assassin and ended up with the Avengers. And she also had a sister who became like a top kid assassin or whatever. And they come back together eventually in this movie, and you get to see Pops, who wasn't he like the first super soldier From
He
are
was
we
the
doing
first
spoilers?
Russian.
I'm so sorry. I don't even know if we're doing spoilers.
No, we can because we both seen it. So
Okay,
it won't be released till May. I won't finish
okay,
this until maybe this Saturday. So it'll give people time to see it. And if not,
okay,
Disney Plus. It's been on Disney Plus for a while since Friday.
okay, okay.
So continue. We could go pro with the spider. I'm with the
Yeah,
spider.
yeah, but he was the first Russian super soldier, and it was interesting to see he was asking her questions like, "Does Steve Rogers be talking about me and shit?" And she's like, "Man, please, we don't, you know what I mean? Our relationship is fucked up." It was just interesting to see those cast of characters. And but my only thing that was kind of like I said, she was just like just getting fucked up and shot at, and she's still, you know what I mean, a human. Her training is that amazing that she could fall off of buildings. Yeah, I mean, when y'all see this, if y'all ain't see, she's just, I don't know. I don't know. That's that part about the movie and about her character, and of course about Hawkeye, but not so much him, but her specifically in this movie. It was just, I know this is a comic book movie. I know this is about a comic book character, but god damn, she is amazing. Oh my god, I don't know, bro. I don't know, but it was entertaining. I went there
Mm-hmm.
to let go of my brain and not think. But it was just, sometimes you got to spend belief a little too much with these movies. I don't know.
I'm gonna piggyback. So I'm gonna just
Mm,
jump off. So yeah, so you see her um go back. Basically, this all takes place after Civil War.
yes.
Um, she's betrayed T'Challa at the airport.
Yeah.
Steve and Winter Soldier go and look for Tony Stark, and so we already know where she's at when we last see her. She's talking to Tony Stark, and
Hmm.
she basically, you don't know what happens to her after that. So this movie kind of takes place after that. So right now she's
Yeah.
on the run. You see
Hmm.
General Ross looking for her.
Hmm.
Even though he's not the general no more, but he's still looking for her. He's still looking for Black Widow, and she's
Hmm.
basically telling him, "Don't even bother. Don't do this because I've lived a lot of different lives. You're never gonna find me." Fast
Hmm.
forward, she's not even there. She tries to make her own life,
Hmm.
and um, basically her past comes to haunt her, and so she goes to her past to figure out what is going on, and she runs into her sister, her little sister, who
Yes.
who you see at the beginning of the movie,
Yes.
and they're not real sisters, right? But they grew
No.
up together. They grew up
Hmm.
together. She's younger than her. She grew up with the Red Guardian, who
Hmm.
was played by David Harbour, plays Alexi, Michelle
Hmm.
Weiss as Melina, who's the mother. Um,
Hmm.
we know him from Stranger Things. I don't know. You ever watch Stranger Things on Netflix?
Yeah, yeah. That's why I know him from.
Yeah, she's for Stranger Things, and
Hmm.
Rachel Weisz. She's been in so many things, but the one that she's in The Mummy, so with
Yeah,
Brendan Fraser. So
yeah.
they're very good, great actors. They're all basically Russian spies. They go on the run. Shield is looking for them, but they grew up together, and so for all
Hmm.
intents and purposes, that is the family she loves, and that's the family she knows. For as fake as it is not, they were bound together, and it became real to them. And that story of family and that need and wants of one another. Um,
Hmm.
so it comes back to it. She goes looking for, she finds her sister. Then they go looking for the Red Guardian, Alexi, and then
Hmm.
then they go find the mother who's in a pig farm, and then they're sitting at a dinner table and having this conversation.
Hmm.
Uh, and it's like one big family. Like, get your elbows off the table, stop slouching. Listen to your mother, and it's funny, it's cute. It has its moments.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, if you really want my honest opinion, his sister Yelena, played by
Hmm.
Florence Pugh, she steals the movie for me. You know
Yeah,
what I
pretty
mean?
much, pretty much.
I
Especially the part where she was teasing her about the way she lands in that
the
pose.
pose, yo,
Yeah.
crying. That shit is funny, bro. And
Yeah.
it's
So
and it was cute.
why you lying like this?
Like,
Why you
yeah,
lying
yeah,
like this?
yeah.
That's the pose. It's a Superman pose. I was dying.
I thought it
That
was
part.
funny. I thought it was
Yeah.
funny, and I thought it was cute, and I thought it was like she really steals the show. And we all know
Yeah.
by the end of the movie what's gonna happen. We know she doesn't make it past Endgame.
Yeah.
So I think the story to know why Natasha is the way she is with the Avengers and why that's her family, because the family's not really who birthed you and who gave you life. It's the people you meet along
Mm.
the way, and the
Yeah.
people that raise you, or the people that are in your life, or the people that make the difference in your life. And that's why she was so close with the Avengers. You know what I mean? That's why those were, because you see in this what these people meant to her, what this version of her family meant. So family does mean something to her. And that's something we didn't know before. Not that we didn't know, because she ended up sacrificing herself in Endgame, but why, right? Why is she so like driven that way? And when you see it here, it made sense. You know what I mean? Because family meant so much to her, always has, and obviously always would have once she sacrificed herself for her family and for protecting Clint, you know, at the end of Endgame. Actually in Infinity War, excuse me. So no, it wasn't Endgame, I'm sorry. And so like the story of her going back and finding the family, and then it was basically a setup. You know, Melina ended up setting her up, but it ended up not being a setup. And the whole Taskmaster reveal, and spoiler, the Taskmaster reveal, I didn't care for it. I didn't care
for it. I didn't really. I didn't really. I thought the character was cool. You know what I mean? The way that he could, you know, basically mimic your fighting styles, and he knew you saw him do the Black Panther thing, and he's throwing the shield and all that stuff.
Like Captain, of course,
like Captain America, you know what I mean? And he's, you know, like Hawkeye, you know what I mean? So that
was cool. The character was cool.
Yeah.
And, so they every time we see Hawkeye and Black Widow together, they always talk about Budapest. And they're like, you know, we must have, you know, we remember very differently. Like there's a big joke and something exciting happened. And they never really fill that gap, right? They never really fill that story. Like, tell me what happened in Budapest. So you only have an idea of what happened. You know that there was a battle in the house, because the sister asked her, what are those? And she's like, those are arrow holes. She's like, those are not bullets. So you know there was a battle between them. And you know she had to redeem herself. You know she redeemed herself because she ended up trying to kill the head of the Red Room, who what is it, Dreykov, the head of the. And so you know that she goes to try to get Dreykov, excuse me, and she thought she kills him, but she blows it up, and she just basically like the daughter of Dreykov. It was collateral. Sorry, my bad, but you know I had to do what I had to do. And he was alive all along, and he had his hand on the pulse on everybody. He had spies all over the world. And so, long story short, he's alive, and he was still alive. And basically, the sacrifice that she did to kill the daughter was in vain, basically. And we ended up fast forwarding. Spoilers again. It's the daughter. That's Taskmaster, and I hated that. I don't know why I did. I just felt like, okay, it was just a bad reveal. I don't know, but it made sense. It was basically Natasha's redemption of trying to bring the daughter like back and try to make the daughter good, and basically because you know it's a regret she had. You know, Natasha regretted that she had to kill the daughter, you know, to try to get him, and it's a regret she had, and now she was trying to make it right. But you already had blown her up in the first place. Why are you trying to like redeem yourself now? Like because you have a guilty conscience, bro. Like, nah, you gotta live with that. So I didn't really love it, but it was cool. It was cool. But I like the sister. I thought she really did steal the show. She ended up falling and landing the pose anyway, and she's like, ugh. And I just thought it was funny. I like the movie though. Did you see that credit thing?
Yeah, I saw it. With the sister, right? The Incredible sister. Sister, you know, she's by the tombstone of her sister Natasha, and she's, dusting it off, paying her respects, and then she stands up. You see Elaine from Seinfeld, who's now
Valentina,
she was in the Winter Soldier and Cap show.
The Falcon and
Winter Soldier, and they talking, and she basically reveals to her that Clint Barton did what? Did kill the
So from what I'm taking from this, she's already working for her, and that's why she told her I'm on a break. Okay, we knew she's trying to recruit the U.S. agent, you know, and the Falcon Winter Soldier. So now she's trying to recruit Yelena, or Yelena already works for her, but you know she's like, this is my sabbatical. She's like, well, I think you wanted to know who's the cause of your sister's death, and she basically shows a picture of Ronan, not Ronan, Hawkeye, excuse me, click.
Yeah, well, he was
And
in his Ronin uniform, I think, when
right,
she
right, right,
showed
right, right.
it. Yeah.
And so she shows him the picture. And I think we already know, like, if you IMDb it, that she's already in the show, but they already started production on Hawkeye. And
Okay.
Haley Steinfeld is playing Kate Bishop, as she's gonna be. I'm assuming is gonna be the next Hawkeye, and so I'm assuming he's training her. And so I'm assuming Yelena's gonna be looking for them. So there's gonna be some type of encounter because from what I saw, she's in 8 episodes of the show. So we know that she's involved in there. So there's gonna be some springboard off of this that's gonna go into the Hawkeye show. That's already in production. So they're already moving a lot of these shows along. Marvel. So Marvel's already working on. I believe they're working on She-Hulk, which is a She-Hulk show. Miss Marvel, I think it's definitely best, production. I think it's definitely in post-production already. They're working on Hawkeye. They're working on Moon Knight, so a lot of the shows are being moved, I think the next thing we should be keeping an eye out is a trailer for Spider-Man. I know Eternals and Shang-Chi are still set to come out. We got to watch those movies first. But they've been really hush-hush about Spider-Man, and then Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness. We already know Loki is going to be in it. That was kind of announced today too. So I feel like everybody's looking past these next 2 movies to see, but I don't think we should, because I know we haven't spoken in a while. Did you watch the trailer for Shang-Chi, the last one? The last trailer for Shang-Chi. Did you see Abomination fighting Wong in the cage from Wong from Doctor Strange? Like, stuff like that is cool, you know what I mean? So, what was I going to tell you? So, sorry, I left my train of thought. I was getting a phone call. So I feel like there's 2 movies coming out for Disney, and I think that we're looking past them. And I'm kind of low key looking forward to Eternals, because I think Eternals is going to give us what Guardians of the Galaxy gave us, right? Like, we didn't expect anything from Guardians, and we saw the popularity of it. I don't think Eternals is going to be as funny, and maybe not, but it might be a great story. So I'm looking forward to that. So I think these next 2 movies are going to be good. I think Shang-Chi is going to be really good. But I'm looking past it already. I'm already looking. I want Spider-Man. I don't know why. They already dropped pictures of his costume. I don't know if you
really. I didn't see any. I didn't see.
You didn't see it? They dropped pictures of his next costumes. They already know that Doc Ock is coming back and Electro's coming back. William Dafoe supposedly coming back as the Green Goblin. So that one's a rumor though. So, but definitely Doc Ock is coming back, and Jamie Foxx as Electro is coming back. So, I'm looking forward to Spider-Man so bad. I don't know why I'm looking, but you know what? I'm gonna give Shang-Chi and I'm gonna give Eternals a fair shot. You know what I mean? Because Marvel hasn't done me wrong, hasn't struck out yet. So I think there's a lot there to unravel and stuff like that. But I am. Did you see? What's his name? The Rock is almost done finishing shooting
Black Adam.
Yeah,
they're real hush hush about that. They ain't really showing much of anything. I just saw a picture of his back and like the set or whatever. I was like, okay.
Brolic, man. That dude is crazy, working out crazy for that. And I like that. And I think they also started production on Shazam 2. And a lot of people didn't love it. So did you watch it? Shazam 2? I mean, Shazam 1, sorry. The first one.
I didn't love that movie.
I liked it. I didn't love it, right? Like, love is like, I love Man of Steel 1, right? Like, Man of Steel with Henry Cavill.
I fucked with that movie. But a lot of people didn't really, like that movie.
Man of Steel 1 was crazy good, bro. Crazy good.
It was good.
So, I like Shazam, right? I thought it was cool when the family came together. Oh man, I love me some Megan Good though. I don't care. She was her in that purple superhero outfit. I'm like, you can come save me, lady, like forever. She's beautiful, bless her. But but really, like, I'm looking forward to all these movies because, you know, with the pandemic, production has stopped on a lot of stuff. So it's hard to keep going with this stuff. So they're coming out with a lot of good things. And it's only good for us, right? Because that means we got more shit to
Is
watch.
the Zack Snyder universe officially dead? Is that done?
I think so. I think Zack Snyder. It's so funny you mentioned Zack Snyder because I'm gonna tell you a little story. You know, before we wrap this up because I know it's getting late. We got work tomorrow. Zack Snyder, a few years ago, pitched an idea to Star Wars owners, Lucasfilm, and stuff like that, a story of Star Wars, and apparently, it was too dark, right? Too adultish. It wasn't really what Star Wars was going, so they didn't take the idea. So fast forward now, Zack Snyder is coming out with a movie, I believe, on Netflix called Rebel Moon, right? And the story that was supposedly, you know, he wrote for Star Wars, now he's making on his own. And so he is taking the story, I'm assuming, premise that was for Star Wars and making it his own. Obviously, it's going to be like loosely based. You know, it's not Star Wars. Can't use Star Wars, you know, stuff. But it's basically a story of space and ships and shit like that and whatever. So Zack Snyder's working on some shit like that on Netflix. And, you know, they came out with the Army of the Dead on Netflix. I think Netflix really taking in Zack Snyder and whatever the frick is in his brain, and they're like, let's roll with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, he made the Dawn of the Dead remake that he did, the reboot or whatever. That was one of my favorite zombie movies, and I'm a zombie fanatic. So I'm very picky. Yes, I saw Army of Darkness, whatever, the Army of the Dead.
Army of the Dead. That was the last one that came out, right? On Netflix?
That he put out, and it's a little bit. I want to be scared when I see zombie stories. I want to be scared. So
you love your zombies. You love that all that shit.
Yeah, I want to be. You know what I mean? Like, oh shit, Army of the Dead, or whatever that was called. It didn't make me feel that. It was kind of like a video game, pretty much. So.
I love these. I used to love House of the Dead. That was my favorite video game. You know what? Shooting some zombies. I'm all for that.
Yeah.
No. So like, Zack Snyder, he's got a lot. I'm trying to think of something. So, I think that was basically it for like Marvel for now coming out. You know, they got the What Ifs coming out. We still got Shang-Chi ready to come out, I think in November, and then you know Eternals right before the end of the year. So we got still 2 movies coming up. We still got
also got outside of Marvel, we got Snake Eyes. You seen the
bro. Yeah. I'm glad you reminded me, bro. Yeah. I am so for Henry Golding at Snake Eyes. I didn't think I was gonna love it. I see the trailers, and I know people are gonna be like, nah, man, what are you talking about? That shit's probably gonna be trash. But I love me some fake action movies. You know what I'm saying? I love me some fake action movies. Show me Fast and Furious 19,000. You know, I know the stories ain't shit, but I know it's fun. You know what I'm saying?
That's what fucking Black Widow was.
Right? It's not a great story. You don't need to, but I want to see some shit blow up. I want to see people fight. And hell yeah, give me I don't need a great story all the time. If you give me some pretty good action, hell
yeah.
So I'm looking forward to Snake Eyes, right? You a G.I. Joe guy? You grew up with that shit, right? You like G.I. Joe?
Yeah, I grew up with that. Yeah.
Who's the guy in the white? I forgot the guy in the white's name.
Storm Shadow.
So that dude is in it, I'm assuming. He's the guy in the white. He's the guy that takes him. You've seen the trailer, obviously. So you see he takes him. He's like, I'm going to take you back home and show you about the ninja and shit, whatever.
Yeah.
That actor is in a show on HBO Max called Warrior. Bro. Warrior on HBO Max. You have HBO Max?
Yeah.
Check out like the first 2 episodes. And you're going to come back. And you're going to, this show is out of control. Because that dude, he fights in the movies Warrior. It's basically about a Chinese immigrant coming to the United States in the early 19, maybe like maybe 1890s, the early turn of the century, comes to San Francisco, and like life as an immigrant, like a Chinese immigrant in San Francisco, the gangs of like Chinatown and shit like that, and like the fighting and the violence. So just I think it was a Showtime show, and then like I guess HBO picked it up and stuff like that. And just that dude kicks ass in the show, yo. That show is, and they're coming out with season 3. That's what I'm saying. I'm watching season 1 right No, yeah, I'm in the middle of season 1, bro.
Okay.
So once I saw the trailer for Snake Eyes, I saw that he was in it. I'm like, nah, I gotta go watch it now. I definitely gotta go watch it.
Okay, good.
Yeah, Storm Shadow. Yeah, it's it's a good show. Warrior, HBO Max. So go check that out.
Okay.
And all the listeners, every y'all watching out there, check out Warriors on HBO Max. It's a great show. 2 seasons, about 10 episodes each. It's about an hour long though, so it's kind of like 10 hours. You got to get a good 20 hours into it, so it's kind of a lot. So I've been watching it periodically.
Okay.
So, but what I have been doing recently was reading some Star Wars High Republic books that came out. Second wave of High Republic Star Wars books came out. The Rising Storm by Kevin Scott. Kevin Scott, one or the other. One or the other. And so I just finished that book, and it's a really good book. So if you guys into Star Wars out there, check it out. It's worth the read, right? If you're into like a different version of Star Wars, all these stories take place 200 years before you even meet the Empire, before you even meet Luke, and before you even it's before the Clone Wars. So before Episode 1, it's 200 years ahead and before, and so it's like the height of the Jedi. When the Republic was at its finest, and there was basically no negative. Like the galaxy was at peace until it wasn't. Until there was a great disaster and like these villainish, pirate-ish ravagers basically come and basically fuck up everything. And the stories take place from there. It's springboard from there. There's a great disaster, something happens, it fucks up the hyperspace, and the stories go on from there, go on and on and on and on. And you meet all these different Jedis along the way. And these stories are so good about being a Padawan and learning and what your master means to you and what it means to like be a Jedi but still have feelings, because when the Jedi, you got to kind of like break yourself off from attachment. But it's hard not to get attachment when you have a master and there's somebody that teaches you, because they're gonna die eventually and they go be one with the Force and stuff. But these stories are really good in that way, where it tells you sometimes you have to let go, and these stories are good. So like, and then you meet new villains. You meet like these raiders. They're called the Nile, and the Nile has a leader named Martian Rowe, and his story is kind of sick, and he's kind of sick and sadistic. And so the stories are cool because it's not only books, right? So there's comic books that are into it. So right now, the High Republic, there's a Marvel printing going on. Disney also owns another printing company, comic company called IDW. So they got another story going out there. And what's cool is that all these stories, because there's a bunch of other books. There's The Light of the Jedi. There's Into the Dark. One is coming out on the 27th, Out of the Shadows. Race to Crash Point Tower. There's another one, so it skips my mind. It's terrible. But basically, these stories, you meet all these different Jedis, but now they piggyback off of each other in all these different books, because you got 5 writers writing them, which is really, really cool. So if you guys out there are into Star Wars, into reading books, because you know what I hate, and I'm just gonna vent a little bit here. I hate it when people watch Star Wars movies and then they think they're like super Star Wars fans. Like, Star Wars goes so much more beyond than the movies, right?
Yeah.
It's the shows that you see, and if it's the shows you see, and it's the books you read, and because Star Wars is so vast, it's not just the movies. You know what I mean? Yeah, those are where you get the reference from, but Star Wars is so much more. And people that are like think just because they watch all the movies and they watch the movies and that's it, and those make them real fans. Like, and then if you see like the animated series, like, nah, I'm not watching that kid shit. That's not real Star Wars. That's not my Star Wars. I'm like, the makers of Star Wars and the people that own Star Wars are making this to expand the story for you as a consumer.
Yeah.
And so you don't have to love it, but I watch it to know and to read and to see, the tie-ins and to see the stories and to see how they connect, because it's a vast world. And I think that's what's so cool, because Star Wars started off this big. It was an idea in George Lucas's head, and look at what it is now,
Yeah.
And so I love reading the books, and I could read, and I'll be a dork and read the books. And right now I'm between reading the High Republic. There were stories before Disney bought out Star Wars, and it's called the Old Republic, and it takes 3,000 years into the past, with Darth
yeah.
Revan and Malik and it's just stories of Star Wars.
Yeah.
3,000 years, and that stories are fire too. So it's just like I love it. I love it all. I'm all here for it. And if anybody's out there is into Star Wars, check out these books, The High Republic. They're worth it. And yeah, man, like there's shows coming up. The Ahsoka show is coming up. We all know like there's mad stuff coming up on Disney Plus. So that's my Star Wars plugin, man. I gotta show mad love to my Star Wars because we do Marvel, we do DC. We gotta make sure we show Star Wars and all the geek stuff out there. So that's just actually there's one more thing I wanted to show you. Check it out because I love my Legos, right? I'm springboarding. I wanted to show you something. Look at what I bought. Check this bad boy out, my guy. So this is the Daily Bugle, right? This is the Spider-Man Daily. This is the Spider-Man Daily Bugle, right? This shit comes with all these goddamn characters.
Wow.
And this shit is about 3,772 pieces.
Wow.
And it cost me a pretty penny, but I just want you to see how much of a Lego fiend I am and a Marvel fiend that I am,
So you gonna put that together yourself?
Eventually, it'll probably take me a while, but I'm gonna throw that bad boy together because Legos is fun, man. Like it keeps your mind moving. You're always and you're not thinking and stressing out about anything. You just put shit together. So it's just little fun shit, to do while you're at the crib. You know what I'm saying? And so that's my little show off for today. But it's getting late. So anything up with you, man? They talk to me. Anything you watched recently besides those stuff?
No, I'm gonna definitely check out Warrior. I'm gonna check out the new episode the latest episode of Loki, and I also want to check out I think Batman Halloween, Long Halloween, or something.
The Longest Halloween. Did that come out already?
Yeah, I think it's out. So I'm gonna check that out too. Yeah. I'm a huge fanatic of the DC animated joints, the movies and whatnot. So, and I think also, did you watch Titans? Did you watch that?
Season? Yeah, I watched 1 and 2. Yeah, hell yeah.
I stopped at 1. I'm gonna get back into it because I think season 3 is coming soon. So I want to get caught up with that.
I believe that comes out August 12th. I think the trailer was dropped or something like that. So season 3 is coming out. Yeah. I like Titans because it's like a darker version of their stories, the sidekicks, and I think it's pretty cool. I like DC because they don't have rules, right? They don't constrict themselves to a box, right? They're like, yo, this is this is this, and it doesn't have to all connect, but if they do connect, that's cool too, Like they're filming The Flash, and you got Michael Keaton's Batman coming back. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Bruce Wayne. Wow. Yeah. And you're gonna have Ben Affleck's Batman also in that movie too. So DC doesn't limit itself, It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be pretty. But the stuff that they do is entertaining, and I'm all to watch it. Like Robert Pattinson's Batman, I'm gonna watch that too. Yeah. And so Titans I'm looking forward to Titans too because I did watch season 1 and 2, and so I have a lot of time on my hands. Yo, I swear I watch a lot. I watch a lot of stuff. C, I don't know if you watch it on Apple Plus. C with Jason Momoa. Season 2's coming out. That looks mad good. The Witcher with Henry Cavill on Netflix. Season 2's coming out also. That's a dope show. There's a show on Apple Plus also, or Apple TV, whatever it's called. Ted Lasso, which is it doesn't have to do anything with genre, but it's pop culture right now because it's basically about a college football coach going to Europe and trying to be a soccer manager. Imagine, it's funny, bro. It's funny because he's dumb. Like he doesn't know soccer, bro. He's like, so where's the quarterback? They're like, there's no quarterback. It's just like funny shit like that. It's called Ted Lasso. It's mad funny. It's fun. So I'm gonna put a list of all these shows that I'm talking about, so you can go check it out on the descriptions.
Also check me and Shorty. We be watching this show called Fleck. I think it is. You ever heard of that?
What is it called? What is
Fleck?
What's it on?
It's on. want to say Amazon Prime. It's with Shorty Sookie Stackhouse, Anna Paquin.
Mm-hmm.
She plays like she works for like a PR firm, but like out in like cross seas, like in London somewhere. Like, but she's an American. She's like a, she transpat or whatever they call them. She works over there for like a PR firm, and she's basically a fixer. So if you're a soccer star and you're crazy famous and you get caught in
How do you spell that? How do you spell? I'm gonna look it up.
I think it's FELCK. I think Fleck. Flack. Let me see.
F F L E C K.
Yeah, I think that's what it. Flack. No, FLACK. Flack. Yeah, it's Flack.
Okay.
Yeah, and she's
Okay.
basically a fixer. Like she just works for like a PR firm.
She's the shorty from True Blood, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
she was Rogue in the X-Men.
Yeah. She's in the show, and it's just about a walking disaster who fixes disasters, basically, because her life is crazy. She's on drugs. She got issues, the lovers. It's just an entertaining show. You know what I mean? Outside of the world of superheroes and shit like that. You know what I mean? It's a world.
I'm always down to watch something. I'm always down to watch something different.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Check out Flat. Check out Flat. It's interesting. It's cool.
I have a tendency of sometimes just putting on whatever's in the background, and then I end up getting stuck watching it. Like the other day, I threw on Disney Plus. I threw on Gargoyles. I don't know if you remember that, but Gargoyles was back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Back when Batman animation was going crazy in the 90s, and so Gargoyles was hot. Spawn was hot. Like stuff. Those animations were really crazy back in the day. So I ended up throwing on Gargoyles in the background. And I found myself ended up turning around watching it. And I'm like, oh man. I was like, next. Next. Like,
so yeah. It's easy to get caught up in them rabbit holes. I was on a G.I. Joe rabbit hole for a while. I was on a He-Man rabbit hole. I was on a Thundercat rabbit hole.
You saw the new trailer for He-Man?
Yeah. It looks good.
There's a new trailer for He-Man. They're coming out with it on I think it's Masters of the Universe Revelations. Shout out Kevin Smith. And so he's been plugging that heavy. And so I was okay. I'm not gonna lie. Like He-Man wasn't my time, right? I was born in the '88, so I grew up '90s. So so I missed the He-Man hype. You know what I mean? I missed the Transformers hype. Right. And I missed the Transformers.
You didn't really get hip to like Voltron. You wasn't with Voltron.
No. So a lot of these great cartoons, because as I got older, I ended up going back and checking them out. Right. So like stuff that I did get into, like I ended up going back by like the whole Blu-ray collection of the original Transformers. You know what I mean? Like the robots in the sky, like wah, 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 wah.
Yeah.
So I was in a whole like you, like I was in a whole watching the original Transformers. And I thought it held. I was like, yo, this shit is dope. I still watch it. It still holds. So, but I never grew up with the He-Mans and the Voltrons and stuff like that. But I caught the later generations, right? So I ended up catching like Beast Wars as I got older, or I caught like, like newer versions like Ghostbusters and stuff like that. And so I could still appreciate these things, but I don't really know He-Man. But I started checking out the Voltron on Netflix. Because Voltron ended up coming, they redid Voltron on Netflix, and I ended up liking it.
Yeah.
And so now they're coming out with this He-Man thing. I'm gonna give it a run. I'm gonna see, what the hype is about, because He-Man was big in its time. Like, I'm sure it could still be again. Same thing with Ninja Turtles. Like Ninja Turtles is timeless, bro. Like Ninja Turtles. And like I know what's his name? Michael Bay did the other Ninja Turtles, but I didn't hate it. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it either. I liked it.
I just need him. Michael Bay just needs to leave Transformers alone. He needs to leave that whole franchise. Stay away from Transformers.
Did you see the title for the next one?
No.
The title for the next Transformers is Beast Kingdom, Beast or whatever. So it's gonna be Beast Wars, bro. It's gonna be Beast Wars. Okay. I don't know. Did you ever check out Beast Wars?
No. That's when Beast Wars came out. I was shying away from it.
You were older.
Yeah, I started like when Ninja Turtles was getting popular. I remember my best friends
Right. I'm sorry. It was
at the
Transformers:
time.
Rise of the Beast, 2022.
Yeah, that's basically Beast Wars.
Basically, Beast Wars, Rise of the
Yeah,
Beast is Beast fucking Beast Wars.
yeah. That's
And
when I started checking out Beast Wars. Yeah.
yeah, well, Beast Wars is cool. Beast Wars, they come down to Earth. You see the play, Optimus is an ape.
Yeah.
Megatron is a freaking T-Rex.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
I enjoyed Beast Wars as a kid. I'll still fuck with it. They were the Predacons, I believe that's what they were called. And
I think around that time, that's when I started watching more like anime. I started moving towards that, watching like Akira,
mhm.
Ninja Scroll, and Go 13, and
Yeah, I have boys who
Ninja Chronicles.
love anime, bro. Like love
Yeah.
anime. It's never been for me, but I
Mhm.
get the hype. I get the
Yeah,
hype.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's like anime. Like what was I watching the other? I was watching fucking Digimon, right? Like there's a new series of Digimon that came out. They basically went back to the original Digimon, and now they're making new current episodes of the original,
Mm.
and it's in Japanese. And so, like,
Mm.
I think it's just that part where I gotta sit there and read everything and not
Oh, I
really
can't do
watch the show.
that. I
It's
can't
kind
do
of tough,
that.
right? Like,
Yeah,
you're not.
yeah,
I need it dubbed already. Like, I need it dubbed. I want
yeah,
to be able to.
yeah, yeah.
And I think that's why I never got into certain animes because I'm like, I'm not sitting here reading. Like, I need
Yeah,
to.
there's people who are they're serious about anime to the point where they don't even want to listen to a dub. They gotta see the subtitle because it gotta. I don't know what's the thing, but they're that hardcore. I can't do that. I'm not gonna. If I don't have to sit there and read, and I can just listen to it, why don't? But teachers on.
Shout out to my nephew Xavier who wants to learn Japanese so he could watch animes and
That's
not
dope.
have to read the subtitles. Like
That's
I
dope.
swear he told me this. My nephew told me this, and I'm like, you either A, infatuated with anime, or B, very fucking talented because I don't know how you're gonna learn Japanese being
Yeah.
Hispanic and in America, the English is your first language, Spanish is the second language. And if you tell me you're gonna learn Japanese, I'm gonna give it to you, bro. Ain't no way I'm picking up Japanese like that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. There's a will, there's a way.
I'm telling you. So shout out to him for that.
Shout out to him.
So I guess there, we could wrap it up because it's been a great episode, great comeback episode, man. I
Yes,
love
sir.
doing this, and I apologize to the fans out there that I've been on hiatus, but I'm gonna try to get back on track, keep doing this. Yeah, you got to keep going with top five. You got to come back here with me. We got to get.
Real soon. I got a shout out to my brother, Mr. Callahan, a.k.a. Cali Rock. He's chilling. We got to get up. We got a bunch of stuff that we kind of like put on hiatus. Music, the show. We also got a clothing line called Calligraphy NYC. That's kind of been on hold, but I know he's on his side. I know he's handling the business affairs of that. So
just send us the link. Send us the link. You already know. Yeah. We'll throw it up. We'll tag him, tag you guys.
Yeah, definitely.
And
before we go, speaking of links, follow me on Instagram at Ali Oxnfree. That's ALIOXNFREE. There's no E in Oxen, just OXNFREE. Also follow me on at Calligraphy NYC. That's CALLY Graffiti NYC. That's on Instagram. Follow me at Rembrandt Raps on Instagram. Follow me at Top 5 Dead or Alive Podcast on Instagram as well. Thank you, my brother, for having me.
Always. Also follow Cali Rock. He's got to follow
Cali Rock. Yeah, definitely.
Got to follow him on there. And I want to thank everybody for coming for checking this out. And Ali, man, always a pleasure to have you. And we will be doing this again, all right? So peace, everybody.
Peace.